My very first hour's meditation. I've tried like mindfulness before. I love mindfulness. I've done breathing. I've never actually sat and meditated. I don't know if I meditated proper. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Like, I moved quite a lot. I had an itch. I learned that you shouldn't meditate in trousers that aren't that comfy. I managed to ignore a couple of itches after a while. I moved, I lay down, I sat up, I sat with my arms behind my leg, had my legs out, I had my legs in, I had my legs like on my knees. Like, I first time meditating, but I breathed, I let my thoughts kind of come and go. I need to go and look into some tips on meditation so I know whether I'm doing it right, because to be fair, every book and every podcast I've ever listened to with meditation always says that it takes time and nobody does it proper to start with. Didn't fall asleep, didn't look at the time until 6 minutes to the hour, which I was really chuffed about. Pretty happy. I had a bit of a, not meltdown yesterday, but I had a really tough brain attitude yesterday. I worked a little bit later than what I usually do because I needed to come home to be in time for the beds today. So I needed to work a little bit later yesterday. I came home, we had all the kids. I had to nip past to grab my two from my mum. It was just kind of rushed. I was moody. It's kind of the time of the month. I don't know if I should be putting on that on YouTube, but it is. So that added to the hormonal kind of crap. And then I was just moody with the kids and just generally moody in my head, went into a complete negative. It was like a different person was in my head telling me all the things that I'd done wrong and all the things that I was doing wrong and all the things that I was failing at and all the things that were just bad, bad, bad. And I really, really struggled to get my head back to me, because it didn't feel like me, at all. It was really freaking hard. And I'm gonna cry saying it, but I think this time of the month, so it's emotional, but it kind of got me thinking about people that had depression and anxiety and things like that. Because I mean, I don't, and I've said in a video previously that I felt like I could have, and I felt like whenever I noticed myself going downhill, I take action to avoid going fully downhill. But I think the more you let that happen, not so much let it happen, because even yesterday it was like I had to fight my brain. I had to literally fight my brain. It was really, really difficult. And I did. Like, I was going to read the At Home with Dyslexia book, and I was like, no, I don't want information. So I started reading like a new, just a fiction book, just so I could read it easily and take my mind off it. The kids weren't settling, which I'm pretty sure is because I wasn't settled, and they knew I wasn't settled, which didn't help, because that made my negative thoughts be a little bit more, oh, you're a bad mum, you're doing this, you're doing that. You can't just take your head out of it just so you can sit and actually concentrate on them. It's your own fault that they're not going to bed, things like this. And it was just all in my head. And I just sat, and I'd messaged Tony because he went to take his two home to their mum's house. So I'd messaged him, I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. And I just sat and breathed, and I tried to keep my breathing because I didn't want these negative thoughts. I knew they were rubbish. I knew they were lying to me. I knew that it was all crap, and I questioned them and I questioned them, but they kept coming back and come back and come back. And it was so bloody difficult. So this is why I decided yesterday that I was gonna actually start meditating, because yesterday I managed to get out of it. And I'm not gonna lie, like, Tony came home and he kind of helped me, because he just kind of sat with me, and I did get out of it, and I felt fine before I went to bed. I cried. I always cry. I cry quite a lot, but this is why I decided I was going to do a little bit of meditation. So yeah, this is a new project. I'm gonna try and meditate. I'm going to try and get on top of my brain, because I really don't like when I go into like a little negative pity party of my own, which I can't. It's not even like a pity party. It's literally like I cannot get my head out of it that easily. Like, I literally have to elbow bash my way through these negative thoughts to get myself back into being me, and I don't want that. Couple of positive things. So meditation, first hour done, kind of hour. It was attempted, but that's good. So that's done. I also asked my manager if I could be in on a client meeting when they're reviewing a set of accounts, which I'm quite excited about, a little bit nervous about, but quite excited. I prepared the accounts, so I'm hoping that I can be of use or just get something useful out of it, because that's where I want to go at some point and I need the experience. So I've done that. I also messaged a woman that done a mummy mindfulness class a good couple of years ago now, because it actually really helped me, and I never actually thanked her, and I just thought, you know what, bugger it, I'm gonna go and thank her. So I sent her a message and I thanked her. I haven't heard anything back. I don't know if I will or not, but it's always crossed my mind, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I done it. And I also joined a wise mentoring Facebook group and got a free book. I love books. Free book. Haven't started reading it yet, but I did put up a post to ask about like advice on do's, don'ts, like what if you could do something differently, what would you do? Any words of wisdom for people that want to start up at some point in their life doing an accountancy firm. So I got one comment back to say about learning, looking into sales, finding a few niches, stuff like that. So I'm gonna take notes. And yeah, that's my kind of update. Need to get back into doing these like proper, but just now I'm just doing them as and when I feel like it. I'm gonna send all these videos to Tony. He can faff about with it and then they'll kind of get uploaded later on. But yeah, so keep fighting those negative thoughts.